Hi, I'm David Rogers, the president of Actors Tax Prep Incorporated. Actors Tax Prep is a taxation firm that works primarily in the field of entertainment taxation for all entertainment pros. I want to talk to you this morning about a very serious subject that has grown in importance over the last couple of years. It begins with identity theft and ends with the utilization of the identity thief to file a false tax report in your name. So this is going to cover what every taxpayer should know about identity theft and taxes. Now, the IRS has expanded its efforts to work with this because it has grown so greatly over the last couple of years. So there's a lot of help that you can get from them and from your tax preparer if something like this should occur. When your personal information is either lost or stolen, it can easily wind up as part of a fraudulent filing of a tax return in your name. The reason why the person who stole your identity does this is to be able to get a refund that they're not entitled to. Then when you file your own tax return, what happens is the IRS will send you a notice saying, hey, you've already filed your return. That's a dead giveaway that someone has acted fraudulently, gotten a hold of your name and social, and filed a tax return in your name. A lot of times, the notice that you get from the Internal Revenue Service will be the first inkling that something like that has happened. So let's talk a little bit about how to avoid having your personal identity stolen. There are certain things that you can do to avoid it, and it's important for you to know this. First of all, very simply, guard your personal information. Identity thieves can get your information from you in many ways. They can steal your wallet or your purse. They can pose as someone who needs information. They can look through your trash. They can steal unopened mail. And they might just find some information that you have given to an unsecured website or in an unencrypted email. One of the most critical methods to watch is for people posing as members of the Internal Revenue Service. Be aware that the IRS never sends emails to any taxpayer on such subjects as financial information or to notify you of an audit. All of that is done by the U.S. mails, and almost always it's done via certified mail. So if you have someone call you up and say they're from the IRS and they need to confirm certain data, including your social security number, you've got an imposter on your hands and you don't want to give them any information. If you feel that something like this is happening, one of the best courses of action is go to the IRS's website, which, by the way, happens to be very user-friendly and contains a great multitude of information. It's very simply irs.gov. On irs.gov, you will see a link to Report Phishing, and that will take you to a page with a lot of very helpful information. Also, be careful about protecting information on your computer. You don't want to use unencrypted software, and when you hire your tax preparer, be quite certain that that tax preparer, as we do, uses encrypted software and makes it very safe for you to utilize. Now, how would you find out that you're an identity theft victim? Well, you would probably be notified when you file your own taxes from the IRS that social and name has already been used. Identity thieves usually try to file as early in the year as possible so as to get in first, if you will, and to make certain that they get a refund before anyone finds out what they're up to. Another thing that could happen is you could find out that you owe taxes, quote unquote, from a year that you were not legally required to file, or you might get notice from the IRS that you received a W-2 from an employer that you'd never worked for. So really respond quickly if you get that information. The IRS will send it to you via mail, and there will be contact information in the upper right-hand corner, and you should respond as quickly as you can. Another way to do this is to utilize the IRS Identity Protection Specialized Unit. they have a toll-free number. That number is 1-800-908-4490. Then the IRS will take steps to secure your tax account. If it turns out that identity theft has taken place, and it turns out further that a false or erroneous return has been filed by someone who stole your identity, the IRS is going to issue you a special number that you will put on your own valid tax return when you file it, so that they realize by the recognition of that number in their computer that you were a victim and that you've contacted the IRS and that you're now filing the real return. We work very closely with the Internal Revenue Service to be certain that all of our taxpayers are as protected as possible, and also to try to determine what went wrong, how it can be prevented, and how you can get your legitimate refund as quickly as possible. So if you have any questions about this, contact us. We are easily available through our website, actorstaxprep.com, or you can email me directly, david@actorstaxprep.com, or call 800-316-3755. Thank you very much and have a great tax year.